When you look at the world around you, have you ever wondered how you can see? Or why are you able to feel and hear things? Well, our bodies have 5 main senses. Vision, or our ability to see with our eyes. Hearing, our ability to listen with our ears. Touch, our ability to feel things with our skin. Taste, our ability to sense the flavor of something with our tongue. And finally, smell, our ability to pick up scents. Starting with vision, we use these things called eyes. How do our eyes work? These eyes consist of all these random complicated parts, but we can just think of it as a big see-through ball. Light that comes from the sun or light bulbs bounces off things in our room and enters our eyes through the cornea, and then hits the backside of the ball called the retina, where there are a bunch of little sensors. How does our brain process this? Those sensors are called photoreceptors, and they send messages to the optic nerve, which then gets sent all the way back to the visual cortex. Next up, we have hearing. We hear with those big things on the sides of your head, your ears. How do our ears work? Anything that makes a sound, whether it's your mom talking or piano playing, generates a sound wave. These sound waves enter your ear canal and hit your eardrum, which vibrates these little bones in your ear. This sends a chain reaction through all these different parts of your ear, including some hair cells that get sent to the auditory nerve. How does our brain process this? Well, the auditory nerve sends signals to the brain. The temporal lobe contains the auditory cortex where everything gets processed so that we can hear things. Next up, we have touch. Normally, we think of touching just with our hands, but actually we can touch with any part of our skin. How does our skin sense touch? Well, our skin is made up of a bunch of little things called touch receptors. When our skin touches something, these receptors send messages up through our body to the brain. How does our brain process touch? Well, these messages then get sent to the thalamus and are relayed to the rest of the brain. We feel a mix of pressure, pain, and temperature when we determine what we are touching. Next, we have taste. We all love to taste great foods, from pineapples to pizzas, but not them together. We taste with our mouth, more specifically our tongue. So how does our tongue taste? Well, our tongue tastes with a bunch of things called taste buds. When you eat different foods, your taste buds send different chemical signals to your brain. So how does our brain process this? Well, our brains are able to process a bunch of different tastes. We call them sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and also a meaty taste called umami. Lastly, but not leastly, we have smell. We smell scents all around our world with our nose. How does our nose work? Well, in our nostrils, we have olfactory receptors that are able to pick up all the little particles in the air which cause something to smell. There are thousands of different smells that these receptors can pick up. How does our brain process this? Well, these receptors send messages along the olfactory nerve to the olfactory bulb, which then sends it to the rest of your brain so that you can smell anything. Thanks for learning about the 5 main senses that allow us to explore and experience our world.